In this video, me and my friend are going to attempt to survive 300 days of hardcore Minecraft. I said I'd record this if the last video got to 300 likes, and it did. So here we are. Can we survive another 100 days without dying? For 300 days, we had 3 main goals. Number 1 was to build an automatic storage system. Number 2 was to defeat an ocean monument. Number 3 was to kill the Wither and the Ender Dragon at the same time. Will we be able to complete all 3 goals by the end of the 100 days? Stay tuned to find out. If you guys haven't seen 100 and 200 days, make sure you go and check those out. Also, only a small percentage of you guys that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. It's completely free and you can always change your mind later. Enjoy the video. Day 201, we were back inside the world. We were back in our familiar surroundings and we flew straight down to the house. The very first thing I did was remove all of the items from our chests as they were overflowing and place them into temporary ones on the side. Jordan then mined up the empty chests and added some more. After we'd done this, we did a lot of organizing, and on day 102, I finally finished putting everything where it needed to be. I realized we had no wood, so I repaired my axe and my shovel, and on day 203 I took the donkey out for a lengthy wood cutting trip. Day 204, this is how much wood I collected. I was pretty happy with myself and I began traveling home. I noticed a tower from a distance. Once I got inside of our village, I just noticed what a nice view we had. I tied the donkey back up by the stables and put all the wood inside our chest. This is how much we had now. Between days 205 to 208, I went netherite mining. I took advice from a friend where they said to mine along the chunk borders. Apparently it's the most efficient way without using beds and TNT. So this is what I did, and it was actually pretty efficient. The reason for wanting netherite was to get netherite on our axes and shovels, as we hadn't had that yet. And I also collected some quartz on the way home to get some XP to repair my pickaxe. Once I got back, I had 4 netherite ingots. I made sure that my axe and shovel were both upgraded before adding the netherite ingots to them. I headed down to the villager breeding hall and I added the netherite to my tools. I then went and collected Jordan's tools and I added netherite to those too. On day 210, I took Jordan's tools to him and I took a look at what he'd been doing whilst I was netherite mining for the past few days. Whilst I was netherite mining and collecting wood, Jordan had built us a creeper farm. No longer would we have to worry about not having enough rockets to be able to fly around, or worry about not having any fireworks to put on another display for you guys. We used the mob farm that we had previously and just converted it. Day 211 was pretty boring and we just AFK'd the creeper farm. We wanted to see how much gunpowder we could get from this. On day 212, I traded for 2 mending books. And then I made myself a mending axe. I didn't have enough XP to make a mending shovel, so I headed straight to the end of an XP farm. Eventually, I had a mending shovel. Now I had a full set of netherite mending tools. Also on day 213, thanks to someone in the comments, we actually realized we didn't have a speed 2 beacon, it was only speed 1. So I got a diamond, gave it to Jordan, and he sorted it out. Shout out to whoever it was in the comments for helping us out with this. On day 214, I went and used the automatic wheat farm as it had fully grown, and I also checked up on the sugarcane farm, which was also producing a good amount. After this, we wanted a new and improved look for our stables. So to do this, we needed a flat bit of land. So over the day of 214 into the night time, we did some terraforming. On day 215, I went back towards the jungle where I'd seen some mine shafts. I wanted to get a name tag for the panda that you guys have been leaving name suggestions for in the comments. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one. As I was going through this little cave, a creeper jumped out at me and my heart dropped. When I got back, however, I began construction on a mini panda enclosure. Come day 216, I'd finished it and I was actually very happy with my build. And whilst I did this, Jordan built a tractor. I have to give it to him, it was pretty cool. Jordan had also finished building a beautiful stables where our horses would be very happy. He then moved them in, and I'm pretty sure they like their new home. After moving their horses into their new home, we then destroyed their old one, as we wouldn't need it anymore. We then set up a railway system to get the pandas into their new enclosure. thought it was all going well until I tried mining the minecart and the panda had died. We couldn't quite believe what had happened and we felt really sad about it. So Jordan built a little gravestone and we decided to hold a funeral. Rest in peace, Brownie, which is what we would have called that panda if it had survived. As it came to night time, we got the second brown panda into a minecart and got him straight into its enclosure. Yes, it would be lonely, but we made no mistakes about it. We were not going to mess this one up. Jordan went below it and mined the minecart from beneath it, and luckily it survived. I then fed it some bamboo and it was very, very pleased. After this, I added a name tag to it, and because it was the most liked comment, I kept my promise. We called it Waffle. Days 218 to 221, we needed a lot of wood. And when I say a lot of wood, we needed like shulker boxes full of wood. So we spent the next 3 days going through the jungle, getting as much wood as we can, mining down the tallest trees and filling up shulker boxes for our next big project. Day 221, we came home and our shulker boxes were pretty full up with wood. I then turned them into chests. And from days 223 to 226, Jordan built us a kelp farm. Whilst building this kelp farm, I was busy getting other materials for our other project. Jordan built here was very necessary for us. Day 227, I AFK'd the iron farm. And on day 228, I believed that we had enough materials to make this build happen. So I went ahead and mined up the beacon. On day 229, flew over to the land we were going to be building at. Jordan decided to try being a demolition expert. There was a tiny mountain in the way, but he didn't want to mine it out. He wanted to blow it up. After Jordan had his fun of blowing things up, on day 230, I placed down the beacon. Instead of speed 2 this time, we take haste 2, which will make us mine incredibly quick and get things done a lot quicker. Once we had the haste 2 effect selected, we began digging out the automatic storage room. Day 241, I found myself mining up the beacon again. We weren't feeling the effects inside of the storage system, so we placed it down in the very center in the lobby of it. And once again, we selected haste 2. We needed this to mine out the areas behind the chest so that we could fit in the redstone. Now, day 243, one of the sides of the storage system broke out through the mountain, so we had to cover it up. Day 244, I took another trip to the end of an XP farm. I needed to repair my tools as my pickaxe was very low. But Jordan said that his tools were fine, so I guess we know who does all the work around here. Just kidding, Jordan. You work very hard. Day 245 is the beginning of the automation process. I assigned myself the task of placing hoppers whilst Jordan worked on the redstone. On day 246, we finished the redstone wiring for the bottom row of chests. It was now time to turn our focus to the top row. So from days 246 to 248, we worked on doing that. Once we did all that, Jordan made an elevator on day 249, and this was the final product. This is our new automated storage room. I need to give a massive shout out to Shulkercraft here. If you haven't subscribed to him, make sure you do. His link will be in the description below. He builds amazing farms and other redstone builds, and this is all completely his idea. We just wanted to build something like this ourselves. A big shout out to Shulkercraft. Day 251, I started organizing stuff, but after working on it for so long, we wanted to do something different, something fun. We got our rockets and we've traveled around the world to try and find an ocean monument. Day 252, we finally found one, and it was time to go to war. This was my first time on an ocean monument, and it was very interesting to say the least. All I knew was we had to kill 3 main bosses, and then our mission would be complete. We were struck by a lot of mining fatigue, we broke through, and we searched for the bosses. And when we finally found one, we panicked so much we swam away. We knew we didn't have much left on our water breathing potion effects, so we decided to retreat. After flying back home on day 253, I made some more water breathing potions. And we quickly returned on day 254. This time, we were completely ready. I found some sponge in one of the rooms, so I took that for later. Then Jordan and I swam back to the room that we swam away from. And we defeated the first Elder Guardian. We then swam around separately to try and find the next one, and it was me that found it, and I took it out pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I thought they'd do a lot more damage than they did. But whilst I defeated the second one, Jordan swam to the other side, and he found the third one. Third Elder Guardian had been defeated, so we swam around and collected our loot. The night of 254, we had done it. We had defeated the Ocean Monument. Challenge number 2 was complete. Day 255, I went to the barn and I breeded the animals. And after being so nice to them, I killed them. We needed more leather for the automatic storage room so we'd know what we're putting in each chest. So it was the slaughtering of the cows. Day 256, I cleared up the iron farm. There was so much, and this was absolutely massive for us if we wanted to get another beacon going. We had more than enough. I then took it all up to our valuables chest, and we nearly had 2 rows of stacks of iron blocks. When it came to day 257, I collected many leaves to make a safer and better way of traveling to the XP farm in the end. We had some close calls traveling down the ladder, so we wanted to make it as safe as possible. I collected a full shulker box full of them. On day 258, I began building. Even though we now both had elytras and we could fly to the XP farm, we just wanted to be safe in general. After the scare from 200 days and dropping my elytra off the end in the first 100 days, we wanted to make sure that no mistakes would happen. So once I'd finished making the bridge safer, I went into the XP farm, mined through the wall, and began building another room. This is what it looked like before. And this is after. I made a full enchantment room where we could enchant when we're at the end XP farm, and I made some chests to store ender pearls or books and stuff like that. Day 260, I wanted to make sure that we couldn't throw anything off the end, like our elytras. So I put some leaves on the bridge, and this is the finished product. It was definitely a lot safer than it needed to be. Days 261 to 264, Jordan did some terraforming on the mountain. We didn't want to have that big cobblestone wall. We wanted to make it look natural, so Jordan did a great job of terraforming it. With my help, of course. Whilst I did this, I organised one whole corridor of the automatic storage room. I couldn't quite believe that we'd actually built this and it was working. This was definitely one of the best things I've ever built in Minecraft. Day 265, Jordan went and got some clay for a future build. On day 266, I wanted to go and get myself another elytra. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why, but because of that clutch in the 200 days, I wanted to put that elytra in the Hall of Fame. I didn't want to put it in there before getting another one, so I used it to fly to the end, and luckily pretty quickly I found an end ship. I ran up to the shulker, defended it, and it stood no chance. I retrieved my elytra, and I also took the loot, which was pretty good. I then flew back home, but I got pretty lost. Found a random portal and I tried my luck, and luckily it took us back straight to our end portal. After getting home on day 268, I mined out part of the Hall of Fame. It was time to place my elytra in all its glory. I'd done designing it, and this is what it looked like. A very deserved spot for the elytra. On day 269, I went down to the villagers and got a mending book. And I completely forgot that we had an unbreaking free trade as well. I went and got one of these, went back home, and added unbreaking free and mending to my elytra. I didn't just stop here, I knew I needed a name for it, but I couldn't think of one, so I just called it V2 for version 2. On day 270, me and Jordan went to the Nether. We started out by getting some glowstone and quartz. And we travelled through the Nether to try and find a Nether fortress. On our travels, I found some ghasts, and I flew mid-air and started hitting them. I also unlocked the achievement Return to Sender when we finally found the Nether Fortress, and we began killing wither skeletons to get some wither skulls. Last time this took us a long time, but we were hoping this time would be a lot quicker. Day 272, I got my very first skull. In the first 100 days, Jordan got every single skull, and I felt pretty useless. But this time, I'd finally got one. We spent days 273 to 276 killing as many wither skeletons as possible, but we were having no luck at all. We thought this was going to take so long. On day 277, our luck changed, and I got the second wither skull. I now had 2. Oh, and I also saw this baby pigman riding a chicken. I thought it was pretty funny. Shortly after, on day 278, a lot of wither skeletons came up a staircase, and I had the third wither skull. History did not repeat itself. If anything, it was the complete opposite. I got every single wither skull, and I felt very proud. On day 279, we wanted to waste little time, and we flew straight through the Nether back home. Because of our elytras, we found home very quick, and we went straight back through the portal. I ran straight down to the Hall of Fame, and I placed all the wither skulls on the wall so that we wouldn't forget where they were. Because we ran out of food, on day 280, I went and farmed a lot of carrots. I then turned them into golden carrots, and as I was reading through the comments on my last video, some of you guys suggested to level up the villagers all the way, because then you can get golden carrot trades. So I spent day 280 trading as many carrots as possible. Day 281, I went and got some iron from the storage room, and I flew back to the tower and replaced all of the iron down there. This is where we'd want our second beacon to be. Whilst I did this, Jordan went into the Nether. He mined up some quartz to help with his build. On day 282, I wanted to go and find my own pet. Jordan got one from the first 100 days off camera, and he sits on our balcony and we can always hear him barking. But I wanted my own one. So I traveled out to a spruce biome. Into the nighttime, I found a wolf. I tamed him very quickly with just one bone, and he was now my pet. Day 283, I finally got him home, and I placed him on the balcony, and whilst Jordan smiled at me, My one just turned his back on me. If you guys have got any name suggestions, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and the most liked one will be the new name of my wolf. Also on day 283, I continued with my mission of leveling up my farmer villager. I eventually got him to max level, and we had some golden carrot trades. Day 284, I got rid of our old empty storage system. They went from looking like this to this. I'm not the best builder in the world, but I tried to design some beds for me and Jordan. We had some shulker boxes as our bedside table, like as a storage area, and we also had some bells as an alarm clock. Between days 285 and 290, Jordan built an amazing factory. We recorded the cinematic for the build, but for some reason the footage corrupted. So instead what you'll see now is the finished product with the auto smelters inside, but he did put them in at a later date. Day 291, I ran out and dug out a 3x3 hole. Now I guess you guys are wondering, why did you run out in the middle of nowhere and dig out a 3x3 hole? Well, this isn't just anywhere guys, this is straight above our end portal. I wanted to design a cool little drop down that we could drop straight down into some water and jump straight into the end portal. Many times I got lost where the end portal actually is in the stronghold, so I wanted to make sure that that mistake would never happen again. I added some water down so that we wouldn't take any damage when we fall. And I did a little bit of designing too. Day 292, I went and got some end stone. I began decorating the top of the drop down. For this, I used end stone and some smooth stone slabs. By the time it hit nighttime, I'd finished, and this is what it looked like. On day 293, I found myself back in the Nether. I flew around to a biome where I could find ghasts, and I began my own little airstrike on them. I needed ghast tears if we wanted to respawn the Ender Dragon, and luckily the ghasts were spawning pretty quick. Whilst travelling back on day 294, I got some quartz for Jordan as he needed some more for his build. On day 295, Jordan added some auto smelters into the new factory. And day 296, I went to go get some sand. You could say that I got quite a lot. Day 297, I then got some gunpowder from our chests. We had more than enough of that. And I began crafting some TNT. After doing all these builds and working so hard, we wanted to do something fun. So we jumped back into the Nether and we began lacing all of the underground with TNT. Luckily we have fire resistance as we were smothered in lava, and I then set all the TNT off. We then tried to head back over, but Jordan dropped his pickaxe into the lava. He couldn't quite believe what he'd done. We were running back through and we saw so much ancient debris on the way, but we didn't want to mine it yet. We thought we'd leave that to the next episode as we were running out of time. And because there was so much lava, we thought we'd return at a later date. Day 299, it was time to get battle prepared. I tried repairing my bow, but it wouldn't let me. It said it was too expensive. So I'll just have to keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't break. Whilst I was trying to fix my bow, I realized I had Jordan's pickaxe in my inventory. He told me that it thrown into lava, but somehow it was in my inventory. So I gave it straight back to him and he was very happy about this. We sorted out which potions we were going to take. I then ran down to the Hall of Fame and collected up our Wither Skulls. We ran outside, jumped in the air, and flew towards the end portal. This is Jordan's first time seeing the little drop down I made, and he was a bit skeptical, but eventually jumped down. We jumped straight into the portal, and on day 300, it was time for the battle. First thing we did was drink our potions, and Jordan ran straight to the end exit portal and spawned in the Ender Dragon. I then spawned in the Wither by placing down the soul sand and the skulls. And I stepped back waiting for the explosion. It didn't take long for him to explode, and they both spawned in at the same time. I took a lot of bow shots to the Wither, and I felt like I was doing a lot of damage very fast. I threw down a regeneration potion, and it honestly felt like the Wither was doing no damage at all. Thank God for this Netherite armor, it was so OP. The Wither then couldn't take the damage anymore, so it came in for some melee attacks, and once again, it was literally doing no damage to me at all. I kept swinging my sword at it, and within just a few swings, I defeated the Wither boss for the second time. Half of the mission was now complete, and it was time to turn our attention to the Ender Dragon. We made good use of our bows from distance, and we got the Ender Dragon super low. Because of the slow falling, I couldn't fall down to the ground quick enough, and I actually came face to face with the dragon. He then flew me incredibly high into the sky, and if I didn't have slow falling or an elytron, I would have been toast. I would have been 100% dead, so I'm very, very lucky that I brewed those potions. I tried taking some shots from high up. I was barely connecting, so I let Jordan hit it with some pinpoint accuracy, and we had done it. We had killed the Ender Dragon, and Jordan got the advancement for freeing the End. There you guys have it. We survived 300 days of hardcore Minecraft. We'd completed all 3 challenges in 300 days of hardcore Minecraft. If you guys enjoyed the video, then make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new, and be sure to leave a comment. Join my Discord server to interact with me on the daily, and let me know what video you guys want to see next. Thank you so much for 15,000 subscribers. The support is truly overwhelming, and I never thought I'd get to this point. Big shout out to Jordan. Make sure you subscribe to him in the description below, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next video.